So today we're going to study an important concept related to Jmockit, and that is what is so in my previous episodes I did discuss about how to write J, that's how to do mocking and how to use Jmockit and how to use Jacoco, how to use the Jmockit as an agent, and I'll also be dealing an episode of offline instrumentation. But before that, when we are doing writing JNets and JMarket, it becomes very complex at certain stages. So we need to have certain fundamentals or basics, embedded in our brain so that when we code, we should not have uh, feel the issues are highly complex, right? So first and foremost thing is that we need to understand what is unexpected invocation. So unexpected invocation at a very high level, simply says that I was not expecting, this method is getting invoked and, being called here. So let's go through one by one unexpected invocations. It's essentially a way of saying you told me to expect certain method calls. The code actually ran something different, right? Generally, when you start verifying, like, uh, you say this object is there and this method, I'm going to test, and these are the dependencies. And this is the way you do mocking. And then in Gmockit, as I told you, right, you'll have expectations and you can also have verifications. So during expectations, if I have missing expectation, like the most common causes, when you're calling a mock method that wasn't declared in the expectations block. What exactly I mean by that, we will further discuss. I'll take each and every point this way and then have a method for that. So the first one, what I'm talking about is that you will have you're calling a mock method and you did not declare that in the expectation flow. So you'll get missing expectations and then you'll have unexpected invocation. Second one is about the argument. You give certain arguments, you record that this method will get these type of arguments, but when you call code, you call something different. Then the arguments don't match, then Jmockit treats this as an unexpected call. Then wrong number of invocations. If you specify a method that is called exactly twice, but the code calls it 3 times, then the third time it's called, it will say unexpected. The fourth one very reason is that mocking static or private methods. What exactly happens is that if you're using mocked or attested, Jmockit redefines this class. If the background process or an internal helper method calls a mock method that you didn't account for, you will get the issue errors. So this is the fourth way. These are the four things, for each of them, I will have an example of how to, resolve, how to, get these issues first and how to resolve them. After discussing about the unexpected invocation, now let's try to write some class. So I written a payment service. It takes email service in the payment processor, and it is passed to the constructor, the email service. And then what I do is that I'm just sending an email to, particular user ID of what is the amount I'm sending email service. It's the most simplest logic, but you need to understand that the email service is an interface here. Now, when I try to write a JUnit test for this one, what I'm doing is that I'm mocking the email service because for me, verifying the payment processor is important. Since email service is a dependency, I'm going to mock the email service. So that is what I'm doing, in the payment test.java. So in the payment test Java, logically what we do is we just call the payment processor class, right? Because you're going to test the class as well as methods inside. Excuse me. So when we call the payment processor, we are passing a mock object of email service here. Understand that I have to do mocking when you do a JUnit testing, and I'm mocking the dependency class, which is mock email service. And I'm also passing the marked service of Jmockit to this test. And then so after getting the class, I'm calling this method process refund, and I'm giving the user, I'm giving the amount now. So far, so good, right? It's Jmockit test. In my previous episodes, I already discussed that in the pom.xml. You have to call the Jmockit as a test scope. Then you call the JUnit, and then you have the Maven file plugin, and then you pass the Java agent to that. So that's all, a minimum thing. Of course, we can have Jacob also. Now, what I'm going to do is that after doing so much setup, let's analyze and just summarize what we did. We did an interface, we did a class, and then the main class, for which I'm taking this interface. And then I have a method inside this class, process refund. Let me increase the font, that is better. So to increase the font, I've written a class, and it has a dependency on email service, but it has a payment processor method. Now we also discussed that we are writing a JUnit test for this one, and we are calling the process refund. We are passing the mocked email service because it's a dependency, and then we're going to do a verification here. Why this verification is here? So as we discussed, right, in Jmockit, we need to verify if the expected methods were called or not. There is expectations also, there is full verifications also, and we are doing a verification and we are doing a strict verification. The strict verification, we not only verify that methods are called, it should be called in the order also. Now let's try to run this. So we were trying to simulate unexpected invocation here, and in new full verification, it should expect something, right? Because we are calling the process refund, we are sending mock email service, but I left this purposely empty. Now let's see what happens. So I'm going to run this. I'm cleaning this one, and then I'm going to run this as Maven test. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we got a unexpected invocation. So it says basically unexpected invocation of Jmockit, unexpected invocation, email service. So it's failed. Now we need to analyze why this is failing. And nowhere it is indicating that, what method it was expecting. But it is telling you that, it's an unexpected invocation. How do we correct this? So in order to correct this, we need to find out there is something, it was expecting, which, it's not getting. So what is that? So we called process refund, and when we call process refund, that in turns calls a mocked email service. So I should see a call going to mocked email service, right? What do you say about that? Am I right or not? Just pause here because something is expected in the verification and I'm not getting it. As I said, since we are expecting a mock service, let's try to the mock service here. I'm calling mock email service dot send refund email. And why is that? Why the mock email service is there? Because unless you call that service, the email will not go to the user that how much amount is needed. So now let's see. So you saw that, right? So if somebody's, it's not flashing to them, I'll just recall that in the payment processor, you're calling email service dot send refund email to process it. But this is I'm mocked at. So it is expecting that this should be called, right? So that's why I put this here. Now let me run this. Then run as Maven test. Yeah, it works. So today what we studied, just to analyze. So just to analyze, we are studying unexpected invocation, and then we just took the first one, that is missing expectation. That means we were not getting a method. So we verified this not through expectation, but we verified this through verification. So my next episode, let's take in current argument matching and wrong number of invocations. And then last episode, we'll deal with mocking static or correct methods incorrectly. So this completes the first class. If you like, subscribe my video. Thank you all. Happy Java coding. Uh, for now, goodbye.